What's up, my Canadian cousins? How are you today? It's a cold Saturday night here in downstate New York. I've got snow on the ground. I've got the wind hollowing. The wind chill factor is making it feel very cold. It's demonstrating to me that I have certain aspects of my house that are more drafty than I would like to admit. And you all are probably thinking, isn't that cute that this downstate New Yorker is complaining about the cold? I know. I've been following the news, and oh my lord, I am sorry, especially for Western Canada. I cannot imagine those temperatures. That all said, my friends, I am here to do something that is totally fortuitous. This is like, serendipity. As you all know, because you are watching this on YouTube has an algorithm, and so the more you watch certain content or like certain things are put in front of you. So obviously, because my whole channel is my exploration into my Canadian friendships and cousins, and your culture and your history, the YouTube algorithm places in front of me a lot of Canadian content. And of course, I've done things on Rush. I've done things about Rick Mercer, who is brilliant, Newfoundland gentleman with that accent and his very quick wit, his way of drawing people in. He's so funny, so clever. I loved his series on Talking to Americans, but I've seen more, on my own time. I've seen, more of his This Hour is 22 Minutes material, the Rick Mercer Report. But what I did not expect was that YouTube put in front of me a video about Rick Mercer interviewing Neil Peart. And if you've seen some of my other videos and some of my tragically hip reactions and some other things, I'm the world's most okayest drummer, but I do like to play the drums, and I have a drum kit. And my first drumming influence, the person who got me into drumming, was Keith Moon from The Who. But then my older brother, got an album, which was a live album. It was Rush, Exit Stage Left. I listened to it. Actually, it was a tape cassette. I actually have the vinyl of it. But I listened to it, and I just thought, oh my lord, who is this drummer? Neil Peart is just a different animal, and he was so... obviously he had raw talent, and he wasn't the original drummer of Rush, and Geddy Lee and Alex Lifeson are amazing and some of the best at their instruments in the world. And the fact that these three guys from Ontario got together, and they eventually found Neil and brought him in, just was the icing on the cake of forming one of the best rock trios of all time. And Neil was a very interesting guy because, he was very, in a way, kind of shy, didn't do a lot of interviews. He was a perfectionist at his craft. Obviously, he had raw, God-given talent, but he was also one of the hardest working people you will ever meet. And, I don't work very hard at the drums anymore because I work, I do this, I have my children, I've got my friends, my life. It's a hobby, for me, and if I get to jam with some musicians every once in a while, it's fun. But this was a man who worked at it his whole life to become more than a drummer. He was a percussionist, but he was a musician at his core, more than a rhythm instrument. He turned the drums into a melodic instrument. he was the lyricist for the band, and he wrote some beautiful poetry for the band. And he was just an amazing guy who had a tragic story in a sense. He had, his my college-age daughter was killed in a car accident, and then his wife died of cancer not too long after. And I just know that would wreck me. I would never come back from it. But he did. He went on a motorcycle tour just to be anonymous by himself through Canada, US, Mexico, and then down into South America. And, finally came back, and he met someone new, he got married, he had a child, and then ultimately he got brain cancer and passed way too soon. And so his story is bittersweet, it's tragic, and it just kind of reminds me of a Gord Downie kind of guy. And I know that Canada all came out for the last year of Gord's life and his last concert, because Gord was open about his cancer, whereas Neil was very private. I'm always reminded of his lyrics from Limelight, about how living in the limelight is hard. He quoted from Shakespeare, or paraphrased from Shakespeare, all the world's indeed is stage, we are merely players, performers, and portrayers. I can't pretend a stranger is a long-awaited friend. And that was him. So he didn't do a lot of interviews, but I came across this gem of two guys who I like very, very much, and Neil my entire life, inspired me to, actually add rototoms to my drum kit. If you don't know what that is, I'll show you. Maybe I'll take some pictures of it. But he played them often because they're a bit melodic and such. But Rick Mercer interviewed him in one of the rare interviews, and when he was comfortable with a person, he was very, very personable, because he was a very, very nice guy. And so I am guessing that this video is going to be really cute, because I feel like Rick Mercer is one of those people who are going to make you comfortable with him when he wants you to be. He's going to be funny, he's going to be disarming, which is exactly what Neil Peart needed in his life. And so I am so looking forward to this. I hope you guys are too, and I will see you on the flip side.
No matter who you are, no matter what you do, who among us has not at some point in their lives considered a career as a rock star? And who has not looked on in awe at an amazing drum solo? Well, today, my friends, I live the dream. I get a lesson in the art of the drum solo from one of the world's greatest drummers. He's with me now from Rush, Neil Peart. Neil, how are you?
There he is.
Good to see you.
Motorcycle.
So Neil, when you're not drumming with the drums, you're on a motorcycle.
I travel between drums, between drum solos, you might say, by motorcycle.
Okay, so today I learned how to be you. How do we start?
Well, we're going to start by taking a ride. Put your helmet on.
I have a helmet. Okay.
He's going to ride on the back.
Okay, the ride is over. We've now arrived at an undisclosed location on the outskirts of Toronto. We're basically at the Rush Bat Cave, aren't we?
Yeah, the archives.
The archives, where the drums live. Neil, let's talk about you as a guy who rides a motorcycle. You're not just a regular guy with a motorcycle.
No, I started about 10 years ago, I guess. When we toured, I used to carry a bicycle all the time, just in the loading bay, and I'd get the driver to stop 100 miles out of town, or if it was day off between shows, I could ride 100 miles between cities. So I started doing that, and it got me interested in seeing more of America and Canada and places we were touring. About 10 years ago, I started touring by motorcycle. Basically, I have a bus with a trailer. I sleep on the bus in a truck stop or something, get up in the morning, unload the bike, and ride all day if there's a show that night to get there, or if it's a day off, just keep going.
How many miles have you put on your...
I wonder what year this is, because I've seen Rick more recently, and he's got a lot of snow on the roof. It's happening to the best of us. Neil kind of looks the same as I recall from his last tours. I mean, wow, I guess he died probably around 5 years ago now. I don't know. I mean, time flies.
Motorcycle.
Oh, 200,000, I think, in 10 years.
Really? 200,000?
Yeah.
Can we go in the back cave?
Let's go.
Okay, and I'm going to get a drum lesson?
I'm going to teach you everything you need to know.
This is going to be awesome. Okay, let's go.
Batman and Robin, it reminds me of.
Okay, this is kind of cool. You park your motorcycle in the Rush Batcave. And there's the drum kit.
A lot of craftsmanship goes.
And is this gold?
This is real gold plating here, yes.
Real gold?
Yeah.
Because you don't strike me as a bling guy.
No, but the drums can be bling.
This is your bling?
Yeah.
Okay, so can you show me how to do something?
Oh, easily.
Okay, and this is my little drum kit. I'm feeling slightly inadequate. But it's not what you got, it's how you use it, kids. Although I don't really know how to use it.
I'm going to show you.
Small is beautiful. Okay, you're going to show me something?
Yeah.
Can I do?
Count me in.
All my life I've waited for that. You ready for this?
I'm ready.
1, 2, 3.
I'm supposed to do that. Okay.
To start.
To start, okay, a lesson. What, snare drum?
Yeah, good.
Hi-hat?
Right.
What do I do? Oh,
All right, I feel like Rick may have had some drum lessons
like that?
or something.
Beautiful.
When did you first start playing drums?
When I was 13, actually, my parents
Gave you a
started
drum
drum
kit?
lessons. Drum lessons.
Drum lessons, no kit?
And a pad. No, a little practice pad.
Like one of those little rubber things.
And then I would make drum.
Oh God, when I first started taking lessons, the rubber pad is what you had to practice on. Singles and then doubles and then triples. Yeah.
Sets across my bed with magazines, and then beat the covers off them. There's 5 cymbals and 8 toms,
You'd have this, that's with the Sayers catalog.
a set like this, but made out of magazines.
Why is that boy in that bedroom with the Sayers catalog again? What's he doing in there? You're a lyricist. You've written a lot of the Rush lyrics, I think.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Now, that's not the stereotypical drummer.
No, in fact, there's a whole raft of excellent drummer jokes based just upon.
Tell me some drummer jokes.
Well, for example, what did the drummer get on his IQ test?
What?
Drool. Good. What do you call a drummer with half a brain?
What?
Gifted. What does a drummer use for birth control?
What?
His personality.
Now getting to.
Actually, Neil Peart is brilliant. He did not go to university. He is one of the most prolific readers you will ever know. Self-educated. Getty and they would talk about him just sitting there while they were on the tour bus, and he would just be reading like transcendental philosophy or existential. He was just a brilliant self-taught, self-educated person, one of the most and best well-read people you would ever meet.
The point where we might do something recognizable.
I think you're ready.
Tom Sawyer?
I think you're ready.
Because I have air played Tom Sawyer, like all Canadian lads have, air drummed it.
So now we're going to play along to the song and build up to climax with the full rock. Imagine there's 10,000 screaming fans out there screaming for you.
Okay, do I take my shirt off?
And we're going for the big rock finish. You can take your shirt off later.
Okay. All right.
After the show.
We're going to beat these suckers like a rented mule, right? Beat them like an Alberta Liberal. Okay.
I actually get that joke.
Neil Peart, thank you very much, sir. Starting next week, Pyro on my news desk. Thanks again.
Well done.
World's greatest drummer.
Oh, my friends, I love that so much. Combine two of my passions, I mean, comedy. Who doesn't like to laugh? Who doesn't? It just releases endorphins in your brain. It makes you feel good. And Rick Mercer is a comedic genius, I've come to understand. And he's just so good with people. He just really is. He's just so good with people. And, you know, a guy like Neil Peart, absolute genius, but he's hard to reach a little bit. He has been known to be hard to reach, and Rick is the guy to reach him, and he was a great sport, and that was amazing. I absolutely loved it. I hope you enjoyed it too, my friends. And I'll see you soon. Take care.